played?
I was happy with the group, as a whole, with the way they played. I thought Delano Hill had a good game. Obviously, had the interception return for a touchdown, but he was solid in his coverage. He did a nice job. Didn't make many mental mistakes, and I was happy with the way he played. DeMonte Thomas, he did a good job. He's been a steady player for us all camp, and it was good to see, it come to fruition in the game time. But I was happy with those two guys, and then Tyreek Cannell, he came in and did a nice job. Young guy, hasn't had much experience, but I thought he did a pretty good job coming in, and he was confident, and he helps me, be confident to put him in the game when he plays the way he does. So I was happy with the way they played.
What did you have Jordan doing on a day when he probably wasn't going to play, just to kind of keep him involved? And can he pick things up from spending the game on the sideline?
Well, I work more with the safety, so I'm kind of more focused on them. I think Jordan's done a good job, working to try to get back, and he's done a nice job with the younger guys, pitching in. Him not being in there, you can give him lessons, from the sideline. So just having him around has been good.
Were there things that you saw during camp and with DeMonte and Delano, because they've been essentially backups and they've had spot starts and stuff, but for them to take those leadership roles, and step in, did you see a flash where they were prepared for that? It's a different role, right? Different mentality when you're starting?
Yeah, I mean, being a starter, a lot of times you got to lead by example, and I thought they've done an excellent job coming to work every day, bringing their lunch box and just having a workman's mentality. Delano, all camp, he was one of the leaders as far as reps in practice, and just leading by example, I think sets the tone for the younger guys. We got a lot of younger guys in the secondary, and they're learning from them, the example that they provide just on a day-to-day basis.
Jim had spoken highly. Kalik's still safety, correct?
Yes.
Jim had spoken highly of Kalik. I remember our national signing day, and since then, what have you kind of seen out of him? How is he adjusting, keeping up with the older guys?
Yeah, Kalik came in, freshman, didn't know much. He played running back in high school, kind of an option running back, and you can see the maturity that he has for a young guy coming in, and he's really learned a lot in the last couple weeks. I've been happy with his progression, from where he started to where he is now. Just got to keep going every day, getting better, and just learning the game, learning the safety position. But he's done a nice job so far. I've been happy with his progression.
How can he flip that from, if even possible, flip that experience from running back and apply it to safety? Is there anything that kind of runs parallel there? Totally different positions.
It is a different position. You're kind of on the other end of it, but knowing how a running back thinks, I guess that helps, You're kind of seeing the same thing he sees, but from the other side. So when you're playing against the run game, you're seeing the same holes that he's seeing. So having that vision, I think, helps on the defensive side.
Jim said there wasn't really a false step that he saw through 2.5 quarters, and he said it didn't look like the alignments were pretty good. What'd you see?
You said
in the secondary? Yeah, the alignments and the steps.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we always focus on. Our technique, we're big on technique and alignments and assignments. Because we do a lot of pressuring and blitzing up front, so we have to be sound in our man-to-man mechanics and our coverage, because there's going to be little room for error.
And you were pleased with what you saw in the film?
I was happy with what I saw in the first week, yes.
In such a lopsided game, I mean, what can you take from that? What do you talk with them about? I mean, there's 2 pick sixes, could have been 3. Channing's first one. I mean, how do you kind of look at that game, address these guys, and have them take something from it?
I mean, we try not to worry about the score and just focus on doing your job, to the best of your ability and getting better, from a technique standpoint. So, the score takes care of itself. So we just focus on how they're playing, snap to snap, every snap. Are you getting better? Are you improving? Or are you taking plays off? And that's kind of how we look at it.
Is Josh Metellus with your group?
Yes, he is.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He came in, he had some injury setbacks coming into it, but he's definitely got some talent, that we can work with, and he's done good job learning the system. He's just got to, get an opportunity and take advantage of it.
Where's he got to work? Does he need to get stronger? Does he need to, different things he needs to work on?
I think every freshman, when they come in, they can get stronger. He came from a really good program, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. And mentally, I thought he's picked up the system pretty good so far. Just got to continue to develop.
What's kind of the max end or high end for Cleek, do you see?
He can be a very good player. If he just got to take it one day at a time and continue to improve.
Athletically, how does he stack up to everybody else that you have in your position group?
I don't want to compare anybody. Everybody is different, but he brings a lot to the table in terms of his physicality. He's a very physical player. He's a good blitzer. He's got a lot of sudden quickness, and there's some things has to work on. But he's done a good job so far.
You mentioned one-on-one. You mentioned one-on-one play, I guess, in the secondary and stuff like that. Just given the increase in blitzing that this new defense is kind of bringing to the table, how would you describe just the emphasis on or the level of pressure that's put into that one-on-one play where guys are kind of hung out there a little bit? There's not a lot of help.
Yeah, well, that was kind of one of the things we talked about, the first day when we came in. We got to be able to play man-to-man coverage, as a secondary, because, Coach Brown is going to bring pressure, and that's the key to the whole defense. You got to be able to hold up man-to-man, and our guys have taken to that challenge. We got a confident group. They're confident in their skill set, and that's one of the things that we take pride in.
So like for you having Jabril go in and out of your position, kind of, sometimes he's a safety even though he's defined as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he's a smart player, and he's able to pick it up pretty quick. Without a lot of meeting time, without a lot of reps, he can pick it up like that. So that's a strength that he has, and we definitely take advantage of that.
You hadn't been around him before. You just kind of met him. Was there a point when that kind of struck you, like early in the spring or something?
Yeah, in the spring, and definitely, in camp, the way he just picked up things quickly, that was surprising because a lot of guys can't do that, move around as much as he does. So that's a rare thing to see, and was definitely happy that he brings that to the table, makes it easier for everybody else.
You guys didn't mix up coverages too much, did you? Start it's mostly man.
Well, we're always mixing things up. Don't want to get too much into the technical part of it, but